Rick George, the athletic director at Colorado, openly talking about looking for a different deal.
You know, we're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12, and you know, we've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. And you know, in a perfect world, we'd love to be in the Pac-12, and but we also have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day. And you know, we'll evaluate things as we move forward.
Brian Howell from Buff Zone with the interview right there of Rick George, the athletic director at Colorado. I mean, I don't even think people are being careful anymore. Like, I mean, that's a pretty damning statement. We have to do what's best for Colorado.
Well, how close is that to President Robbins at Arizona, who a month or 6 weeks ago, whenever that was, you know, goes on the record and basically says the same thing. Like, hey, you know, I know what our number is. I know what their number is. I just got to make a decision. Like, look at this, man. But he painted a nuanced picture for Arizona, citing the school's proximity to the Big 12 footprint and that league's powerhouse basketball brand as the basis for, quote, some affinities. Like, come on.
I know what the Big 12 number is, Robbins said. I just need to hear what the Pac-12 number is, then I can make a decision.
How is that, what he just said, any different from what Rick George just said?
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Like, is it not one and the same?
I don't think it is. I really don't. Ron Loney says the Flying J Flyover Conference. Exactly right. Aaron Wilson, who, by the way, Aaron gifted a membership today.
Let me pull it out here. Hang on one sec.
Thank you, Aaron. I always appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Aaron.
You know. Outside of Utah, A7, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean, man?
I don't know what that means.
What's that mean?
Ron McClure, Monty telling lies. Arizona State and Arizona are Pacific 11 out of 12 games. He totally lied. Fact. Well, half the year they don't change times.
Yeah.
I mean, go check.
They're not a true Pacific time zone.
Bro,
school?
Do you not understand time? Why? Okay. Okay.
Like, you understand that they don't change time zones, right? You get that? Arizona, like, the state of Arizona doesn't change time, right? So,
are we really explaining this?
Yes, sure, they shift, right? Because the whole country shifts time zones. So, sure, they may be in the shaded area. That's the Pacific time zone. But they're not in the state of Washington. They're not in Oregon.
They're not in California.
They're not in California.
They're not Pacific time zone.
They're not Oregon State. They're not Gonzaga. They're not, I know, SC and UCLA. Like, yeah, dude, like, why do we show up some days and people are just likes to fight? This is one of the craziest comments I have ever heard. And Ron's a long time, dude, and I appreciate you, bro, but I just don't understand what the...
We used to live there, guy, for like 5 years. I know that...
It is inaccurate to say that Arizona is a Pacific time zone school, because I got news for you, dude.
No, they're not, Ron.
They're not Pacific time zone school.
No, they're not, Ron.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Arizona is not on Pacific time, man. They're on Arizona time. Like, literally. Like, that's like, they made that change. So I'm not disagreeing that, yeah, sure, they may be in alignment with Pacific time, right? But then they are also in alignment with Mountain time. You're missing the whole point here that, hey, dude, they're not in the Pacific time zone. 12 months out of 12 months. They're not a Pac-12 after dark school, bro.
They are on Mountain time, period, all the time. It's as plain as I can put it.
Like,
you're trying to argue it.
Like, I just don't understand it, dude.
Let's see. The Big Lubbock says the Big 12 is losing two big baseball brands in Texas and OU, which helps the RPI of the conference. Okay, I don't care if Texas and Oklahoma ever play another baseball game. What I care about is they play big football games. And let's not spin Texas and Oklahoma for the Big 12. Those are huge losses. You're never replacing the brand or the revenue that Texas and Oklahoma generate.
It's no doubt, dude.
It's SC and UCLA. There's RPIs and baseball teams, and that's all well and good. But I'm telling you that you cannot replace Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Because their value to the brand is amazing. Truck Stop Gumby says, guys, did you know we both lose an hour and gain an hour of sleep every year? I mean, it's amazing.
In the flyover conference.
Lopes fan Gabe. Now, Lopes fan Gabe lives in Arizona. Arizona schools are mountain.
Hey, what do you know? What do you say? What do you know?
I'm just telling you. So at least half of their games are mountain. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. It's fine. Don't knock ESPN Plus. Big 12 subscription is most likely what led to ESPN's bigger deal. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Big 12's the way, Saul Goodman says.
Okay.
Sebesta says legally they are on Mountain Standard Time all year.
Thank you.
It never changes.
Thank you, dude.
It never changes.
Question.
Sean Mirzinski arguing about time zone. I guess people just want to argue anything. Like, what are we doing? Is it because we're coming out of a 4-day weekend?
It could be.
Or a 3-day weekend for some people? Like,
It could be.
what in the hell? Delaric says if there was a decent P5 school in Texas, oh God, that was looking for Deion when he was available, he would have gone there. He saw Colorado was the next best choice. Well, I don't disagree with that. I think if Deion Sanders wins at Colorado, he can write his own ticket.
Well, and let's not forget when
Anywhere he wants to go.
Before he took the Colorado job, there was speculation about places like Auburn or like these second-tier SEC schools. And I think Prime understood, like, hey, I need to go to a situation where I can look forward. Because I'm telling you right now, when Prime made his decision to go to Colorado, you cannot tell me that dude just skipped over the fact that, hey, Colorado might be jumping conferences in 2 seasons. Like, you don't just skip over that when you're considering situations. So that's why I say, like, his decision to go to Colorado, this has been a strategy all along.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Provo Cougar fan, what's up? The state of Utah should shift back 30 minutes in November, and then they stay there. Drive everyone else nuts. That's what I'm saying. Just be different. Kurt Myers says, live on Tulsa time.
Yeah.
You know, what's wrong with Tulsa time?
Yeah.
It's fair. What's up? OU and Texas women's softball is really good, too. Well,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, I think, has won 48 straight games.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, they're awfully good. I would have, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Don't feed the troll. Gash Blitz says, yeah, I probably shouldn't. Owen Lovell says people just want to be obstinate for whatever reason.
You're not even wrong. You're not wrong, man.
Sebesta, I can't help to think this time zone debate is George Kliavkoff's fault.
Back of the envelope calculations.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Aaron Wilson, Colorado made Deion an offer he couldn't refuse.
Hey.
And I think Colorado is shown to be really business savvy. I think when you look at the way that they hired Deion, and for the first time in I don't remember how long, they made money on their spring game.
Yeah.
Colorado turned a profit on their spring football game.
Yep.
How many people can say that? Right? Deion's been nothing short of a win. He's been transformative for them, and not just football. He is putting them on TV. He is putting them in prime time. Now, if they go 1-11, I think you're going to have to buckle your seatbelt.
Yeah.
But that's why I still maintain, man, you have got to have, absolutely got to have a deal either with the Pac-12 for TV or a deal to move to the Big 12 by the time, and I would tell you it is now. But
I was going to say
certainly
ASAP.
by the time football kicks off, no doubt, I would tell you it's got to be in the next week to 10 days, because I just think you're not going to drag these people into their summer breaks, because these people do not want to have, well, hey, I got a call from ESPN today. They're willing to put our Tier 26 game on ESPN The Ocho. That one channel.
The Ocho.
When they play it once a year on The Ocho, we can
Because
play,
it's garbage.
you know, our violin, like, league ball team. Like, they don't want those phone calls in the summer, dude. They really don't.
No.
It's fair says, gives us $2 to say, could Gonzaga bring back football if they go to the Big 12? I don't know why you would.
Gonzaga.
It's expensive. It is not easy to do. And it is not easy to staff up, recruit up. Like, I just don't. I think Gonzaga is wildly in command of their brand. Like,
Yeah.
they know who they are.
Yeah.
They know what they do. And listen, in the WCC, they have dominated that league. They have. And it's been a good home, in my opinion, for Gonzaga. But in my opinion as well, Gonzaga's ready for that next jump. Revenue-wise, reach-wise, competition-wise. I just go back to that game in San Diego where they played Michigan State on an aircraft carrier.
Epic.
They're ready, man. They're ready. They recruit well. They play well. They win. Like,
don't fix something that ain't broke.
Yeah.
Like, be you, get paid more money. Because that's the thing. They don't need to add football to like, yeah, if you want to get a full share, you probably need to add football. But coming from their conference now to the Big 12, they're going to improve their position. They're going to make more money.
Yeah.
So, again, this was the whole San Diego State argument a couple weeks ago. Hey, no matter where we go, or, we're going to go somewhere, right? It's just a matter if it's the Big or the Pac. We're going somewhere. Like for San Diego State, it doesn't matter where they go because they're going to get paid more money, right? The difference is with Gonzaga, they're a coveted program on the basketball court. Coveted.
Yeah.
Any conference would want them. And so that's how they're able to leverage and get paid a little bit more than they probably should. They don't need to add football.
yeah, I think Gonzaga has earned the right to move up.
Yeah.
I think they have competed, and I think that they have executed at a very high level. And I don't think there are announcements imminent. I don't think there's any doubt that what we've been talking about with Gonzaga is absolutely true. I mean, you just know the value of that brand.
Gonzaga.
And why, just ask yourself, why would the Big 12 not want to add that brand?
Yeah.
Why would they not want to add that brand?
Yeah.
And the answer is I don't know. I really don't know. Jake Nelson, thanks for being a member. Jake, Colorado gave Prime the keys. They did.
Absolutely.
And I wish more people would do that. If you're going to bring somebody like Prime in, give him the keys, get out of the way, let him do his job. That's what you have to do. And I know he's had controversies, this praying and making kids pray. And you knew that before he got there. He did that on his Amazon Prime show where he...
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Is he perfect? No. Will he win games? I have no idea. But you brought him in. You've absolutely got to let him go.
By the way, isn't it a risk-free hire? If Deion Sanders flames out, like, is anyone going to be like, oh, you hired Deion, you're an idiot? No one's going to say that. No one's going to say that. They're going to say, wow, man, like, yeah, I totally agree with hiring Prime and really surprised it didn't work out. And let's just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yep. Truck Stop Gumby says back of the envelope timekeeping.
Back to the envelope calculations.
We are arguing. We are arguing about what time. Just Google search. Trust me. Trust me. I lived there for 5 years.
How dare you?
Google search Arizona time zone, and it will tell you Mountain time zone. You guys, where did you go to school? Did you go to Round Lake Senior High School? It certainly sounds like it.
No smoke.
LV Seminole, thanks for being a member. Found some bucked up in Wheatland, Missouri this weekend.
Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go.
Had blood raz, and it's damn good.
It really is, though.
You had blood raz, and it's damn good. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Cougar Tracks. We get to save an hour with daylight savings time. My wife hates it. Man, you fall back an hour, it is the single greatest day of the year.
Yes.
It truly is. Ron McClure, Anaheim and Phoenix, same time right now.
You're missing the point, my guy. Bro, Ron, dude, you're missing we're not having a conversation about whether...
That's because Anaheim moved up an hour. They moved up an hour. Did Phoenix move up? No, that's because they're always on mountain. They're always, they don't change their click. It's a mountain. They don't fall back or they just stay the fucking same. Like it.
Hey, look here, man.
Dude, it quite literally, it's not rocket science.
Ron, dude,
stop.
bro.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Bro.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Crack, ice,
Boom, pow. You guys let me know how that goes. Take your gummies and relax. Good Lord. Outside the echo chamber. Colorado was done with the pack model when they hired Prime.
I think that's a really interesting point, man.
Could be. Absolutely could be. I cannot believe we're having a conversation about the time zone that Google is a beautiful thing. We like Google a lot.
I love this concept. I love, and I know I got to keep moving, but the idea that you have to explain, hey, Anaheim and SoCal, or really all of California, moved up an hour. And so that's why they're on the same time as Arizona is amazing to me.
Because Arizona doesn't change. I quit. You know what I need?
Yeah, I know what time it is.
You know what I need? I absolutely need some marinara meatballs.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's, that's meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it? How do I do it?
Oh, well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Dudes. Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Download the Papa Murphy's app. Make sure you guys hook it up. It's so easy. You can order your pizza at 4 in the morning. Pick it up at 4 in the afternoon. All through the Papa Murphy's app. It'll be on the to-go rack, ready to go when you walk in. You get the marinara meatballs. You get the pizza. Now, again, traditional crust, barbecue sauce, and then put whatever you want on top of it.
Don't mess it up.
Thank me later. Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. You guys, so I'm super excited. So you know we're going to the RSL match.
Yeah.
2 weeks from Saturday, this past Saturday.
Yes.
And we have a custom shirt being made for this. And I just got the artwork on this custom shirt. You guys, it's ridiculous. It is so good. Like,
yeah, it's fire.
You
let me take a look.
You have to love that. The artwork for this T-shirt's is amazing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing,
dude. That's slick.
Yeah,
yeah. Here you go.
I'm super stoked.
Slick.
At some point, we'll show it to you. That's amazing. That's going to be amazing.
By the way, so there's like 4 spots left. By the way.
Yeah, and Mike Maple says he's going to Big O Tires in American Ford
tomorrow,
which will mean 3 spots left, right?
Yes.
So we're going to announce it on Friday.
Yep.
And so I'll tell you about it coming up in 15 minutes. But it's going to be this T-shirt. It's worth it alone to get the T-shirt. It is absolutely worth it on its own. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com. I know that you guys, we're all out. We're all active. We unfortunately saw a bunch of accidents this weekend. And it's a tough time to be out there. It was great to see all of our law enforcement on the roads trying to keep us all safe. But the inevitable is going to happen every day in this country. You're going to get in an accident. You're going to fall off your bike. You're going to get hit while riding your motorcycle. You need to have a plan of action. When you know that something is a good possibility, and I mean, bless you if you're out there riding a motorcycle, a bicycle, a scooter. At some point, you're going to get hit on that bike or you're going to fall off that bike. You got to have a plan. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com, that's your plan. Because the thing that separates the Advocates is their experience. And what that experience means to you is peace of mind. You can trust that the Advocates have seen your case before, because nothing that comes their way is surprising. Nothing that comes their way is unknown, because they have years, decades, and decades of experience with attorneys that are experienced in your particular case. They have the best accident injury attorneys. They have the best workman's comp attorneys. If you're fighting for Social Security or entitlements for your family, your grandmother, your mom, your dad, they have attorneys who have fought all of those cases, and they fought them well. So much to the point where you never come out of pocket to pay the Advocates. You don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. At theadvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com. Click on a button on their website. You can chat with an attorney live online for free. Theadvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Joey Zay says, hit the like button. Yes, absolutely. Hit the like button. We try to get to 200 likes every show. We're at 145. We've had well over 2,000 views on the show today. If you could hit the like button, that would be amazing. Ron McClure, LOL, all of Arizona is daylight. Don't be crazy. We're still arguing over the time in Arizona.
Ron, how are you so confused? Arizona is not in daylight savings time, bro.
I love it. I love it. Nick M says Hawaii does not follow daylight savings time either. Okay. Okay. If somebody could just run down the spit that I just threw out, if somebody could run down the where the time changes in the country, and Rick Forrester says it's 5:02 in God's country.
Okay.
Jeremy Callahan, is there some airbrush stylized Mandalorian artwork on that shirt?
No.
It's funny you say airbrushed. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that we're trying to hide it. How about I just hold my phone up? How about I just hold my phone up? Come on, man. Look at the artwork on the exclusive Monty Show shirt.
Yeah, dude.
That you get when you go to the game with us. That's amazing. That's going to be
amazing.
Amazing.
Yep.
Not only that, but the fact that I'm the one kicking the ball and Jake's trying to make the save is amazing to me. That is amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. Let's recap our day in news for you, because I know a lot of you are just tuning into the show. There have been reports, and we have been able to confirm reports for you. First of all, we reported on March 3rd that we were told by sources that Gonzaga had a verbal invite. Hey, we'd like you to come and join the conference. Let's get through the process. All right, that's what we reported. Go back. It's on the channel. You can go and see it.
Gonzaga.
Well, lo and behold, Ross Dellinger at Sports Illustrated reported yesterday, I believe it was, that, hey, look at that. Yormark began conversations with the school several months ago as part of his pursuit to expand the conference and add value to what is already the country's strongest college basketball league. Gonzaga basketball is a national powerhouse under Coach Mark Few, making 8 Sweet 16 appearances since 2015. So Brett Yormark began speaking with the Big 12 several months ago. And we reported that on March 3rd. So multiple reports now nationally have confirmed what we reported in March, that the Big 12 and Gonzaga University are University of Gonzaga? Gonzaga University.
Why? See,
it's
first it was
Gonzaga. I like Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Stop it. You're being... See, you are stirring the pot of hate and distrust.
Well, I just want to switch topics from what time it is to how you say Gonzaga.
Well, don't forget, we're defaming Gonzaga by calling them Gonzaga,
that's
apparently.
Right. That's right.
In opposition.
My point is, oh, God, they updated my handicap.
Well, wait, what?
Man, we ain't doing it. I can't. My heart hurts already. Anyway, the point is that I think we are well down the road of seeing significant change in college athletics when it comes to realignment. We showed you the statement from Dave Hickey, the athletic director at Arizona, who, when asked about this conference and a move into a new phase, we'd like to be with the Pac-12 and continue the great tradition of the conference, but if not, there will be a new landscape and a new opportunity for the University of Arizona.
So that's one.
And then you just continue and you hear from Rick George, the athletic director at Colorado, who says, we got to do what's best for the Buffs.
We're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12, and we've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. And in a perfect world, we'd love to be in the Pac-12, and but we also have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day. And we'll evaluate things as we move forward.
So that's two.
You're hearing this on a regular basis now. You're hearing about these athletic directors and administrators who know that there is a struggle and it is real. And you know what? You go back to this idea that we haven't heard from George Kliavkoff for 6 months. 7 months.
No, you haven't heard him do media since basketball media or football media days.
I think it's basketball media day in October when he sat up and talked about USC and UCLA students, and haven't heard from one person who's in favor of the move. And I just think it's been a difficult stretch of PR for the Pac-12. And you hear somebody like Ray Anderson, the athletic director at Arizona State, talking about how he's confident. And I go back to, Kirk Schultz at Washington State, talking about, hey, you know what? The optics right now are bad for a TV company or a broadcast company to announce a deal with the Pac-12.
Why is it dragged on so long? I think it's just the environment. It's the uncertainty in the economy, the layoffs in the tech sector and other places. I mean, look at the major media companies have almost all laid off people, and so have some of the major players in the tech sector. And, I know at least one of the partners we were talking to said, we're ready to sign today. With the optics of us announcing that we're laying off X number of people and we signed, this multi-million-dollar deal with the Pac-12 are just simply not the best. So we're going to have to wait 6 weeks. Now, I'm not sure if 6 weeks make that much difference or whatever your time frame is, but clearly the optics was something that those groups are really worried about.
Oh, dude.
So wait. Wait. Is this not like someone saying, yeah, I was just busy tonight. Sorry, I couldn't make it. The optics are bad for ESPN, and then they go and sign Pat Mack for $150 million? Dude, get the hell out of here with this, dude. Like this guy. And look, Washington State, great program, great university, nothing to do with the university. Kirk Schultz is off his rocker if he thinks ESPN gives a damn, and really Disney gives a damn about optics, because they don't care, dude. They will leave the state of Florida. They will sign Pat McAfee. They will do it all. They don't care, man. They don't. It's beyond me that this guy continues to run that narrative out there.
Yeah, and I think the particular hard part is that the momentum is just never returned since USC and UCLA left. And now you hear all these reports about Colorado, and you hear all of these reports about Gonzaga and the Four Corner schools, and you're throwing out all these words. But the thing that I think you have to ask yourself is, how did we get here? And what is it going to take to save the Pac-12? And again, I think the last couple of weeks, we've all started to come to the side of, I don't think there is saving the Pac-12. We've heard that the morale is low. We've heard that the energy at the meetings in Scottsdale were exceptionally low, and there was no excitement. And I mean, it just continues this snowballing effect of, hey, this is a problem right now. And I don't think there's coming back from this. I truly do not. And I don't think you're going to get one team that's going to jump. I think what you're going to see is, if a Pac-12 team is to leave the Pac-12 for the Big 12, it's going to be a group of teams that are going to leave the Pac-12 for the Big 12. I think that's how this is going to play out, and I think we are not anymore inching towards that. I think we are leaping and bounding towards that because, again, we've heard repeatedly, hey, they know the number, they know the players, they're not able to meet the bar. And so they continue in the Pac-12 to push to try and meet that minimum bar, which we've heard all along, hey, it's $25 million.
Right.
I've heard that all along for a long time now. And I just don't think there's ever a way forward when your leader, who in this case is George Kliavkoff, doesn't have control of the people around him. And when you hear about Oregon and Washington, being vetted and cleared, well, that tells you that a significant member of that conference and President Kase at Washington has had deep, long conversations with the Big Ten. That hurts because President Kase, whether you like Washington or you have to respect the job she's done, and she has not said two words this entire time. We've asked her repeatedly to join us. They have not said two words about it, right? And it's because you're in a situation where you're at a tipping point in this conference. Mm-hmm. The wrong word pushes you in the wrong direction. And I think people like President Kase at Washington understand that. And I think people like Gonzaga understand that. I think people like the WCC understand that. I think people like Brett Yormark understand that, which is why you don't see him out on every corner with a sign up in the air inviting Pac-12 schools. I think we've heard about how the Big Ten doesn't want to be the the killer of the Pac-12. Like, people care about their reputations. People care about decorum. And the other thing I would say, and especially at universities like Gonzaga, especially at Pac-12 universities where academics is far beyond athletics. It's far more important. You have people who respect decorum. They respect ethics. They respect the way that business is done. So they're not just going to come out and speak out of turn. To me, it's just truly, truly, truly important that this gets done the right way. Because I think there are billions of dollars on the line. So, look, maybe I make too much out of it. Keaton Critchlow says that logo is fire. That logo is fire. And when he's talking about it's our T-shirt logo for our event at Real Salt Lake versus NYCFC, June 10th. We are just now 11 days away. It's a week from this Saturday. And all you have to do is go to Big O Tires and American Fork. You guys, they have worked on my car. They did a great job with my tint, oil change. Like, they have done so much work on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they've just done a really good job every single time. You take your car, and whether it's for tires, whether it's for, a tune-up and oil change, and alignment, they do great brake jobs at American Fork Big O Tires, right? Anything you need, they can handle it on your car. You can trust them because it's a local business. Ryan, who's the owner of Big O Tires and American Fork, is a local businessman providing for his family, giving back to his community. That's what is, in my opinion, that's the essence of a great local business. That's what Big O Tires and American Fork is all about. You go in there, you spend $1, just get an oil change. We have 3 spots left. 3 spots. If by Friday, 3 people haven't gone in and gotten oil changes or tires or brakes, hey, we're going to announce 3 people who went to Super Chicks in Ogden on Riverdale Road or St. George. Because we've had so many people understand the greatness of the Super Chick sandwich.
Yes.
So many people.
And you know that you should be getting the Bacavo. I mean, you know that. Like, it's the best sandwich. It's not even close.
Don't start.
Like, we all know that.
Don't start.
So,
trust me when I say you don't want to light the fire, but I'm just telling you, this shirt is going to be amazing. And the only way to get it, there it is right there. The only way to get it, that's the T-shirt you get when you join us at Real Salt Lake versus NYCFC next Saturday. It's a week from this Saturday, and it's going to be awesome. And there's only 15 of those shirts being made. Get to Big O Tire and American Fork or Super Chicks in Ogden and St. George. All you have to do is say, hey, Monty, here's my receipt. Hey, here's a picture of my chicken sandwich at Super Chicks on Riverdale Road in Ogden or in St. George. What's up in the GZ? Or go get an oil change. Go buy a set of tires. Go get your brakes done. Go get your tint done at Big O Tires in American Fork and Super Chicks on Riverdale Road in Ogden or in St. George. They are your presenting sponsors of our RSL NYCFC giveaway. And by the way, did I mention we're going to be in the Zag Club for that game?
So good.
It's going to be so much fun.
Zag Club, on-field experience,
Yep, it is. You're going to get it's a gourmet buffet, all you can eat and drink, alcohol's excluded. We're going to take you onto the field for pregame warm-ups with RSL. It's going to be an amazing experience. You get one of only 15 T-shirts being made. It's going to be awesome, and all you have to do is go to Super Chicks on Riverdale Road in Ogden. You can get a Bacavo if you want. It's fresh avocado. Everything there is made fresh.
Bomb.
I tell you to get the deluxe because the pickles, the onions, the tomato, the lettuce, they're all chopped every day in-house.
Yes.
Or go get your brakes or oil done at Big O Tires and American Fork. Jeff Johnson, Geoff, how the heck are you doing?
Dude, Geoff, where you been, bro?
Gives us $2 to say just the tip.
Skok.
Okay. Drew Christensen says the Bacavo is the best sandwich at Super Chicks.
Let's go, Drew. That's my guy right
Drew,
there.
You say hurtful things, Drew.
Let's go.
You say hurtful things.
Now, Drew, you get a chance to prove yourself here. Mountain time or Pacific time, bro? What time you on right now?
Stop.
Don't mess it up.
Stop.
Do not mess it up.
Bob Holsey, but none of the Pac schools want to leave the conference except Oregon, Washington. But see, you say they want to leave. None of them want to leave.
Yeah.
None of them want to leave.
People don't understand this. Don't get this confused. Want versus need. Nobody wants to leave. They would prefer to stay. But
I
they
think
will.
it's exactly what Rick George said. If we had our preference, we would stay in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But we have to do what's best for Colorado, and that means exploring our options.
You know, we're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12, and you know, we've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. And you know, in a perfect world, we'd love to be in the Pac-12, and but we also have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day. And you know, we'll evaluate things as we move forward.
Yeah, I don't think any of these schools, if you handed them $40 million, they would be like, yeah, great, let's do it. Hand them $25 million, I think they'd be like, great, let's do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can get to that number. And you hear somebody like Rick George talking about being a proud member of the Pac-12. He has no reason to go out of his way to say that. He has no reason to go out of his way to say that.
Yeah.
Like, what does he gain by saying we're proud members? What does he gain by that? I don't think he gains anything. And I think when you look at, you look at Dave Hickey from Arizona, he said the exact same thing. The exact same thing. You know, that certainly the hope, who knows, whenever you print the results, but we'd like to be with the Pac-12 and continue the great tradition.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You notice the messaging is all the same.
Everybody has said, why would they go out of their way to say that? Because I don't think I know they wanna be there. Truck Stop Gumby, I'm a proud member of the Monty Showroom.
Hey,
damn right, Truck Stop Gumby.
Let's go, Truck Stop.
Drew Christensen says Mountain Time.
Thank you, Drew. Good job,
Thank you.
dude. Good job.
I'm proud of you, Drew. You've grown up a lot in this world and stuff. Jimmy says no one wants to leave the Pac-12. Every team would go to the Big for the money. No one wants to have to go to the Big 12. No one wants to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they will.
You know. They will. Let's see. Gary. Mark Harlan surely has to be let go for his L takes after we join the 12. Well, I'm curious what happens. I am curious what happens with Utah. Mark Harlan, the athletic director at Utah, in response to John Kurz, who said the Pac-12 had a standalone game on Friday night, with huge playoff implications, their biggest brands playing, and was almost $3.5 million behind two non-OU Texas Big 12 teams. To which Mark Harlan, the athletic director, tweeted, "We are not leaving." And that was in December, right? And then he also says, "Give me a break," to Dennis Dodd on March 9th. Big 12 ready to pounce on four corner schools as doubts creep in about the Pac-12's viability. That was on March 9th. And he said, "Give me a break."
I'm sure Mark Harlan's a great guy.
He is, and he's a really good administrator.
And yeah, I'm sure he's great at his job. You know,
He is.
Utah's in a great position, having a lot of success, by the way, in all types, track and field, softball. Like, they've got all kinds of stuff happening in athletics, doing amazing work. Honestly, genuinely, they are. But I think that in December, there was a lot of frustration in the conference with people at Mark Harlan's level and above. We saw it at multiple institutions. There was a lot of that type of sentiment. And I think that you know, unfortunately, this is the direction the conversation's gone. And again, I'm not going to sit here and rip Mark Harlan for tweeting that stuff. Did I disagree at the time? Yeah. I don't think it's a good use of his time to be on Twitter saying those kind of things, or like just participating in the conversation that way. But that's not really my business. He's going to do what he wants to do, and I'm fine with that. But ultimately, like, again, I will die on this hill. Utah's a valuable brand to the Pac and to the Big 12. Utah can win the Big 12 in football right now. Like, don't get confused on this. They can beat TCU right now, right here, right now. So to me, when I look at that, yeah, are the running Utes good? No, they're not good. If you were in the Big 12, I guarantee you they'd get better more quickly, right? They'd have a reason
access to
get
more
better,
talent,
right? Like, you would have access to more talent
because
you
know,
could
I
recruit
think
better.
that's an incredible point.
Yeah.
Because what's not happening in the Pac-12 right now?
You're not recruiting.
You're not recruiting.
You're not doing anything.
How are you recruiting for 2024 and beyond right now in the Pac-12?
You think-
Football, basketball, women's softball, tennis, pickleball, skiing, your mom, like,
You think
how are you
Deion-
recruiting?
You think Deion's recruiting on the current TV deal? Because I can tell you right now, he's not. I believe, and this is just my opinion, not sourced information, just totally my opinion. I believe that Deion's recruiting on a story he's telling about going to the Big 12. That's
I
my
would agree
opinion.
with that.
I don't think that you behave the way he's behaved in the transfer portal, and you are this far out there with video content and being that aggressive with sharing the message, if you weren't confident that you were going to a better situation, that if you weren't like, hey, rubber stamp this thing, we're going somewhere better.
That's right.
There's no way that kids would be coming to his team in the amount that they are if they didn't have something to look forward to. So that's why I say, again, that's my opinion, but I just have a tough time believing the guy rolled over his entire roster recruiting on the Pac-12's lack of a TV deal. Like, I just can't. That just doesn't compute.
I just don't know. You know, Gary, I think that's a really thoughtful comment. I wonder how damaging is Pac-12 unity right now. I'm curious. What are you saying behind closed doors? What are you saying to recruits? Because it's out there on message boards. It's out there on Twitter that recruits are being told, hey, we're not going to be, could be in a different conference. QT, don't tell anybody. Could
Under
be
the radar.
Different, yeah. Under the truck stop conference.
Yes, under the Flying J we'll meet.
Just under the truck stop conference. Look up if there's airplanes. We stayed in the Pac-12. If there's trucks going by, we're in the Big 12.
Okay? I guess that's Pac-10.
Just look for the flyover conference.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we should stop. Jimmy, Oregon is recruiting right now, but on what? On the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac-12. Like, how are they recruiting? I think it's a really interesting question. How is that happening? Conundrum, come along for the ride, Deion says. Come along for the ride. I think that's, Conundrum? You ain't wrong. Jeremy Callahan. We want to be in the Pac-12 no matter how bad the impact financially on the university. How are they okay to just do that?
Well, I don't think they're okay to just do that. I don't.
But
right?
is that just like, coach speak? Is that just politics? Because I can't imagine. You can't tell me that Taylor Randall at Utah is like, yeah, the Mountain West, we're old friends.
No.
Hey, Gloria, it's Taylor Randall. Like, you can't. You don't operate like that.
Okay, listen. Taylor Randall is not sitting here not caring about where his athletic program's going. That's not. It's just not how the guy operates. I mean, I'm telling you, when you've got a legacy head coach in your football program like Kyle Whittingham, and you have history in other areas of your athletic department, and you see an opportunity, because I firmly believe, and I've always said this, whether we're talking educators or athletic directors, I've always said this: these people aren't stupid. These people didn't get to this level in life by being dumb, right? Like, these are really intelligent people who know how to operate. Now, is there a conversation around educators and board of regents type people being out of the loop on how powerful streaming is, or the fact that YouTube is the largest video platform in the world? Yes, there's a conversation around that. But I don't think there's a conversation around the fact that they can look at a P&L sheet and know that the Big 12, the schools in the Big 12, when it's all said and done, are going to make $50 million with the TV deal and playoffs and everything combined. At the end of the day, they're going to make $50+ million. And right now in the Pac, you're going to make 30 if you're lucky. No, that's not confusing. That's not difficult to understand. 50 is bigger than 30.
That's
right?
easy math.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, for folks like Taylor Randall, it's really quite simple to understand. The difficult part, and this is the thing that people hate to hear, is that the money that Utah makes educationally and that some of these other schools make educationally far surpasses what athletics will ever do. And they have to consider that. So Utah, or let's say Colorado, is never just going to go alone. Colorado is not going to get on the U-Haul truck and drive out there alone. They're going to do it in a package deal.
Are you sure?
And Utah would be the same. Like, I love this concept. People are like, hey, Colorado and Prime, they're going to pack up the team bus, and they're going out there alone. No, they're not, man.
They're not.
There's a plan. I'm telling you.
I think the relationships in the conference are too tight. I think guys like Rick George and Mark Harlan, these relationships are not, some of these guys are not best friends, but they certainly work well together.
Mm-hmm.
They like working together on an institutional level. There would be no reason. I just can't see these guys laying around. I don't know, man. It'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how all this plays out. Very interesting. Cam Harrison, what's up with you? Says, good afternoon, guys. Good to see you. Dick the Bruiser says, Utah football is Major League of Football.
Agreed.
I don't disagree with that at all. Victor's the way. Cougar Tracks, we're all meeting at the Y, the center of the universe. But you know what the interesting thing is? Isn't Utah out recruiting against BYU? Especially in the footprint near and adjacent to Utah?
Yeah.
And who's got a more stable future? Well, BYU does.
Yeah.
Even if you're talking about, serving missions or honor codes or any of the usual slander that gets tossed at BYU.
Right.
But we're in the Big 12. We're on major TV. We're playing in major games. We have better access to,
God bless.
The college football playoff, like all of those things.
Yeah.
Now, did that stop Isaac Wilson from going to Utah? It did not. It did not. So my guess is Utah is recruiting with a plan.
Yeah.
There's nothing about Kyle Whittingham that's like, let's just try this one out.
Well, what's the difference? The true difference, if you're a player, right? Just strictly if you're a player, which program gives you the more direct route to winning a national championship right now? Utah. It's not even a conversation. Love you, BYU. Love BYU. Utah is a fast track to a national championship when you compare the two.
Right now.
Yeah. Now, 5 years from now, I don't know. Where does Utah land?
I don't know the answer to that
question. If Utah goes to the Big 12, they're playing for a national championship inside of 5 years, in my opinion.
Matt Ritson says, Pac-12 commissioner looks stupid on TV during the Pac-12 baseball tournament. Work hard, can't find a good TV deal for the school. I just think it's very difficult if you're George Kliavkoff to look good right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no right answers. There's no right narratives. There's nothing you can say that's going to turn things around. They're not.
I think there's one thing. Like I've always said, I think you could turn this thing on its head. And if you could get buy-in from your schools to go out and sell their own TV sponsorships and do all that, I think that's a very attractive offer because it puts control back into folks like Taylor Randall and Mark Harlan's hands, right? Like it puts Rick George back in the driver's seat for how his school is going to make money. So I think that's the one thing that you could do that could potentially save the conference. But this whole grant of rights situation just is archaic. It just doesn't work anymore.
Yep, I agree. Eddie Stoss says, Jake, you're stupid. You know the Natty runs through the SEC. The dynasty is not over.
The dynasty is not over. Kiss my butt.
SEC, not SLC.
Roll Tide.
See, I love the arrogance of the SEC. We're the best.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
We're the best.
How dare you?
Georgia. Kirby Smart.
Yeah. I don't disagree that the Natty in football runs to the SEC.
Now. Right now.
But what I'm saying is that give Utah the recruiting access of the Big 12 or the SEC and watch what happens.
Yeah. I think it's easy to
By the way, I would take Kyle Whittingham over Kirby Smart. I would.
I would too.
Every day.
I would too. Drew Christensen, my guess would be that Utah's recruiting along the lines of even if the pack doesn't last, we'll be the top dog contenders in the Big 12, no problem. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you think about, you have to have a backup plan, a contingency plan,
You do.
an option B to the TV deal not working out. Like, you have to allow your Kyle Whittinghams, your primes, like you have to allow these guys to do their job. And the only way to do that right now is say, hey, if the TV deal doesn't work out, we're going to the Big 12.
Yep.
That's it.
I don't disagree. Let's see. Truck Stop Gumby says cow turd. Still the best part of that whole thing.
Cow turd.
Cougar Track says Utah.
Utah.
Laura Weiss, how the heck are you? Is that Phyllis? I heard she died. She did die.
How dare you?
She did die.
Kiss my butt.
Several weeks ago.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, she was. So Phyllis was a caller on the Feinbaum show, and she's legendary. I mean, she was just such an entertaining part of sports talk in the South, and her ongoing battle with Cowherd and
Cow turd.
I loved every minute of it, and that's why
Cow
we use.
turd is a legendary.
That's why we use the drops. We're not mocking her.
Yeah.
I mean, we are that's a tip of the cap.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are. Hey, cow turd.
And she has a certain cadence about her. Than you are.
Nick Saban is
a better man than you are. It's amazing.
The dynasty is not over.
She's amazing, dude. Jeremy Callahan says, "Hail Saban."
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
Nate Davis, Utah speeding for national championship run. That's why Zach Wilson's brother, Isaac Wilson, I think Utah will be okay in the Big 12. They will be okay.
Yeah.
They will be. Simon says, I think we ought to take Oregon State and let Utah play wherever they want. I think if you take Oregon State over Utah, you're crazy. You are crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
You're out of your freaking mind.
Blazed Bunny says Clay Helton is one more Rose Bowls than Kyle Whittingham. So let me get this right. You'd rather have Clay Helton than Kyle Whittingham? No, I'm waiting for your answer. Go right ahead.
No, I'm not doing that.
Who's taking Clay? Like this, with all due respect, Blaze Bunny, I think this is probably the first time you've ever been here. This is a dumb comment. This is the, hey, I want to seem smart. Let me throw out Clay.
Back to the envelope calculations.
It's exactly what this is. Little Jizzy says anybody can recruit anywhere. Well, not necessarily, and I don't agree with you. Jeremy Callahan, quote, top dog contenders in the Big 12, no problem. Well, no problem. I don't know about no problem. I think Utah is, if Utah joins a Big 12 in 2024, a year from now, you will need to recruit another body across the starting 11.
Yeah.
You will need to be 4 deep at every single position. Your quarterback's got to be better. Your wide receivers got to be better. Your linemen got to be better across the board. I don't ever worry about defense with Kyle Whittingham.
Can't have the issues you've had in the backfield, man.
But you got to have the offensive line. You've got to have it. Have to have it. Carl Adams gives us $5. Say, imagine being Colorado and joining the Pac-12 for an LA connection, more money and stability than having none of it. And you got none of it.
Yeah.
You got none of it. But nobody's going to blame Colorado for what they did.
No.
The one you blame is Nebraska. Because I think it's hysterical. I don't know, it was probably 5 years ago. John Wilner ripped me because I said, hey, Nebraska misses being in the Big 12. They miss being in the old Big 12. And Wilner's like, this is ridiculous. Okay. So what have we heard out of Nebraska? Yeah, we miss the Big 12. The payday's great, but we miss the culture. We miss the fit. Because what is Nebraska? Nebraska's this weird little enclave in the Big Ten. Doesn't fit well, not comfortable, haven't won, haven't made money. You're just there.
You exist, that's it.
And now Trev Alberts comes in and hires Matt Rule. Now let's go play football. And let's see what happens. Because the other thing nobody talks about with this Big Ten thing, USC's as good as Ohio State. Because I am not a Jim Harbaugh believer, but you better bet your bottom dollar that USC is as good as Ohio State is.
It's a little shocking to hear first, right? Like, wait, what do you mean USC's as good? But they are.
I'm telling you.
They are.
They're as good. And I think USC can recruit better. I think USC can win big games. I think the defensive overhaul we saw this summer, this offseason, from coaching staff to recruiting to portal to portal going out, portal coming in.
We built this program on NIL.
I'm telling you now, The last stand of the Pac-12 might be national championship in South Central Los Angeles.
What a story that would be. Think about that.
Because, I mean, I think there are very few people who doubt. I think Lincoln's got the most talented roster in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I get it. You're Georgia, you're Bama, you're USC. The overhaul at USC has been nothing short of remarkable. And I think they took some cover under Deion's darkness.
Yeah.
But you go look at the numbers. USC ain't that far off of what Colorado did.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at the numbers. Go look at the ins and outs. And tell me that USC and Colorado are vastly different. Because they're not. And I think that the biggest game of the year is SC and Utah. That's it. That's the if SC wants to win a national championship, dude,
got to come through Rice Eccles, man.
you're going to have to go through Kyle Whittingham's defense to do it.
Yep.
And I'm just telling you right now, that's an awfully difficult trick to turn. And when you look at their schedule, and it's San Jose State, Nevada, Stanford, bye week in week 3. Arizona State on the road, Colorado on the road. That's 5-0.
That is a long run, though, there through the middle.
Arizona, that's a win. At Notre Dame, we'll find out. That's a win. Then there's that little game on Saturday, October 21st. That's going to be a primetime game at night. October 21st. And you're going to have to beat Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah, do we get more crying Caleb Williams, or do we get winning Natty vibes?
I think if the game was in Salt Lake City, you'd get crying Caleb Williams. But that's just my opinion, man. And, I mean, Cal Washington at Oregon obviously is a huge game. But I'm not a Bo Nix believer. UCLA should be a huge game. But I'm also a believer that UCLA is not as good as they were last year. The question is, what's the hole in what game's missing? Well, Oregon State's missing, which isn't out for sure, because I think Oregon State's going to be a real ball buster this year. And then, of course, on December 1st, you're going to, on a Friday, December 1st, because why wouldn't you if you're the Pac-12? You're going to play for a conference championship.
On a Friday.
And if we're lucky enough, we'll get round 4 of USC and Utah. There's a loss on that schedule. Where is it? There's not 2. All things being equal and everybody being healthy, there's not 2.
Yeah.